Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the kitchen. Chef Dennis and Lady T. We have a few guests today, and guess what? We hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Your day was great. So, Lady T, how was your weekend?
It was very busy. I'm very tired. Very, very tired.
Okay, we so we'll go. I can see it already. The energy you have right now is like,
Right.
I'm here though, y'all. But
Mm-hmm.
look, we gonna go to Marcus. How was your weekend?
I got to tell you, it was kind of the opposite. It was restful.
Okay,
Nobody got it. Yeah.
that's great. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Listen. We have an introduction for Marcus Thomas, guys, and Lady T. Would you present that to us for us?
Sure. Born in Wellington, Delaware, and later adopted by Jersey City, Marcus Thomas is the embodiment of resilience and vision. His path wasn't traditional. After earning a degree in biology and psychology in 2012, Marcus found himself working with at risk youth and in substance abuse facilities. But a pivotal conversation with his mentor, a well known landlord and political figure, steered him toward real estate. Faced with the choice between pursuing a master's degree or learning the ropes of real estate, Marcus chose the latter, opening the door to a transformative career. Today, Marcus is the seasoned founder, operator, and CEO of Christopher Alexander Holdings, a privately held investment and management company serving the tri state area with a laser focus on redevelopment and affordable housing in his hometown of Wellington, Delaware. Christopher Alexander Holdings is family owned and operated, and under Marcus's leadership is on a fast track to managing $100 million in assets by 2027. His company, Christopher Alexander Holdings, specializes in public private partnerships, working closely with local governments to drive economic growth and community revitalization. I can never say that, revitalization. For Marcus, it's not just about building properties, it's about creating sustainable, lasting communities. His beliefs, relationship capital is way more important than fiat capital. With over a decade of experience in real estate, Marcus has collectively managed over 2,000 units, spearheaded a 28.9 million development project which won multiple awards and established him as a leading force in the industry. His expertise spans corporate property management, large-scale development, budget oversight, and forming key partnerships. Marcus has a special knack for revitalization communities, particularly through public private partnerships that drive economic growth and empower minority and women owned businesses. One of his most notable projects is the revitalization of a 4,900 square foot building in Wilmington's historic Quaker Hill neighborhood, where he transformed a long vacant property into affordable workforce housing. This creative deal with no money down on the purchase for or loan resulted in a 1900% return on investment, providing proving, Marcus's ability to turn challenges into opportunities. Outside of real estate, Marcus is a sports enthusiast, philanthropist, I can't say that word either, and author. In 2020, he made waves with his DIY ebook, A Step by Step Guide on improving credit and becoming a smarter consumer, which achieved record breaking sales. Marcus believes success is rooted in three fundamental tenets: perseverance, local impact creates global impact, falling in love with obstacles. His leadership philosophy and unwavering commitment to creating lasting change. Marcus not only a real estate visionary, but a true community builder with Alexander Holding rapidly expanding in his continued focus on affordable housing and redevelopment. Marcus Thomas is set to leave an indelible mark on both his industry and the communities he serves. Wonderful. That was wow.
Ah,
You can you can breathe now, Lady T. That's a lot.
that was hype, though.
Yeah.
That was
I know,
hype.
right? Yes, man. Listen, we had to present that to the world and let them know that we are about business. Marcus is the outstanding young man. You know, he's an outstanding basketball player. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Look, I had to throw that in for y'all. But listen, guys, we definitely are pleased to have him here today on this platform. And today's topic is faith versus reason. So, Marcus, when you first saw the topic, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Faith versus reason.
Well, before I even answer that question, I'd like to start off by saying thank you. Right, thank you for not only that introduction, but thank you for allowing me to be on your platform this evening. I mean, Lady T, I don't know where you guys got all that information, right? I know we shared some of it with you guys, but to go that in depth, sometimes I get chills when I, go back and listen to the story of how things started, and it's a good reminder. And then also, I'm very flattered that Chef Dennis just called me a young man. So thank you. Faith. So what do I think about when I hear the word faith and reason? Man, that's a loaded question. I automatically think about stories in the Bible. Like I automatically go to like relatable stories of like having crazy faith when you make a decision on something that you are trying to achieve, right? Like it's easy to capture a vision, right? It's easy to say you want to do something, right? But you don't know what that story is going to have what you're going to have to go through in order to get to that end result. And let me tell you something. That's where faith comes in. That's where your money, where you really want to put your money, where your mouth is, in the sense of your spirituality account.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see, okay?
I was gonna say, it's the faith is kind of like you have a belief in something, you trust that it's going to happen without even the evidence of it being right there. You have to see it like as I believe this is going to happen for me without even actually physically seeing it in my life. But visionary, like it's a vision thing in your mind. It's your faith that drives you. Reason makes us think of it as like we logically thought about it. We have the evidence that shows the reason of why we came up to the conclusion. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, introducing our other guest, Ahmad. Ahmad, we introduced my guest. This is my brother Ahmad. He's here. I'm glad you're here as well, my brother.
Yeah.
Where's Saray? Is Saray next to you?
Nah, she not. No, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
She was going to be, but we had some things going on with the children, so she said she was going to take them. So you might come back later.
Okay, that's cool. So since you just came in, the topic is faith versus reason. So Marcus just did a little description of it, and then Lady T. So when you look at the topic and you think about it, faith versus reason, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I mean, I think us as believers, first thing come to mind is just believing those things that are not seen. So I guess the reason would be things that are seen, things that you can, make sense of. And then faith is just it explains the things that you can't make sense of.
Okay, all right. Now, so first, I'm gonna go with you, Marcus. What kept you focused on your journey to success?
There's a ton of things that I think about, right? My commitments I come from a family structure that your word is everything. Right? So when you say you're going to do something, you do it, and it doesn't matter the level of difficulty of whatever you're going to endure.
Mhm.
Right? And so through the journey, what's kept me going is weirdly enough, if I ever quit, you never know who's impacted because I quit. Right? There are people that are praying or literally going through something right now and asking. This is where faith comes in, right? Asking for something. And I think about that sometimes. I think about that I have to keep going because somebody's depending on that. Somebody in their household is depending on an opportunity that we could transcend to them in the next 2-3 years because we never gave up, right?
Mhm.
I think based upon, since we're in the housing market, right? That's another commitment to make sure that we create as much housing as possible for transitional neighborhoods, right? And that requires a level of, just going back to what I said, commitment, right? Keep consistently going, regardless of the barriers that are faced on a daily, monthly, yearly basis.
So, same question for you, Ahmad. What kept you focused on your journey of success?
Uh, and family. Um, just as the brother said, Marcus. Yeah, just knowing that somebody is dependent on you, every move that you make. It has a result from it. So that if you go the right way or go the wrong way, but I guess just like holding on to faith, stepping out on boundaries that you didn't see your parents step out on, or your grandparents. Um, just doing things outside of the box, outside of the norm, and you see the results of it.
Mm.
So it make me think about. I'm not not trying to get like all spiritual, but it makes me think about just the story, like, of like Peter just stepping out on that water. That's all, and it's like a bunch of uncertainties, but just taking that leap, you see the result of it.
Okay.
Oh man, can I add something? I know Lady T's going to say something, but it just called on me. As I'm listening to my brother Ahmad, as he says something. One of the things I think about on when you define success, whatever that looks like for you.
Mm.
But I think of being in business. Sometimes I'm very pessimistic and I'm very cynical. It's just the nature of like the day to day, right? And I believe that opportunity is a small window. It's a very, very small window. And with a tad bit of luck,
Mm.
you will get the opportunity that you're asking for. You just have to be ready when it's time to be called. And I truly sometimes think to myself, as a Black man, there is a tremendous amount of weight that you have on your shoulders, of making sure that you get to the finish line. Because the reality is this: your ancestors
Yeah.
did not quit. If they quit, you would not be on this call right now. There's hundreds of folks that unfortunately could not endure that middle passage, and they jumped ships or they passed away. The fact that your ancestors were able to endure it, fast forward, you want to talk about what keeps me going with success? That right there. That is one thing that I always think about.
Lady T, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about the family. I think that was me in my early days when I was, growing up, having to be a mother and have daughters at a young age. I had to go and be responsible. But now, as I am older, I focus more on the I am inside of me. That's within the God. That I really have a meditation to talk within me on a regular basis. The I am, to have that true faith that will overcome all of my doubts and fears. There's something about the spirit that's within you that has the power to overcome all challenges, that makes you have a easy walking on the water type feel. It does come to you, and I really love that in my life, because it has been blessing me. It has been a great thing. I have gratefulness in my heart. I have love in my heart like never before because of that. So I look at that part of the God spirit. The connection has been very, very, very good for my life. I'm grateful for it. That family responsibility, commitments, and all that. But that part of God that I know that nobody can take away from me and tell me how my blessings and how my graces and my mercies have come in my life. Nobody can take that away. Nobody can tell me anything about that. Nobody can judge me. But I know it, and I know it for a fact. Because it's my experience. So I'm not going to keep going, but that's me.
And you,
Yeah.
Felt that.
All that.
right? Listen, do you believe respect is earned or given?
I think
Marcus?
it's both. I think is respect earned or given? I think you can start somebody off with respect. Like, I don't know you, right? Like, if I don't know somebody, I treat people with the utmost respect, and based upon how they show me over time will ultimately allow me to establish more respect. Or unfortunately, you show me who you are, and that's exactly how I move forward, right? I think it's a combination of it's earned over time, and that's how I look at that question that you just posed.
Ahmad?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. You give somebody benefit of doubt. Take somebody by their word till they show you something different. But I mean, it can also just go off people's experience. So somebody could have traumatic experience and they don't give nobody respect. Just from the door. So it can go both ways.
Okay. All right. Lady T?
They said it perfectly. Perfectly.
It said perfectly. Okay.
Yeah.
Marcus, what's more important, to gain riches or your soul preserved for heaven?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to throw a question back to you. I mean, define riches.
That all depends on the individual. So
I mean,
so are you going to ask me? See, my riches is totally different. Maybe
as the runner of this,
and then Namaz, then Lady T.
Right. So your question is, what's more important, riches, or pose that question one more time?
I said, what's more important, to gain riches or your soul preserved for heaven? Did you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I did. I mean, obviously the latter, you want to preserve, right? But I feel as though, I mean, this is just me being the analytical one here, hearing the word, riches, my experiences of every day, with whether it's with people, my family, my partner, those things are riches to me, right? And so with being organically like enjoying every human experience, I think that preserves my soul in itself, right? I think that's like a 2-part question, but just to be super simple, I'm gonna say the latter. I don't want to go too deep on those questions.
Hey, what you got? What you got?
I'm with Marcus.
Nah, I mean, listen, we just being transparent. Look, you go with Marcus?
Yeah.
What you say, Ahmad?
Yeah, I'm going with Marcus. Like, just the latter. Just making it in the kingdom.
Lady T? Lady T.
I don't even. I think that you asked this question thinking somebody wasn't going to say, going to the kingdom of heaven. Yes, I mean, everybody
But
wants,
the
but riches is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a world where we all want to succeed and to take care of our family. We want to have the what we call riches of life to provide, to give. But that is what we are to be. That is how God wanted us to be. God did not want us to be poor, but He wanted us to be there for the poor in mind too, the poor in spirit too. It's just how we do with our riches matters. How we deal with our riches matters. But I've been listening to a lot about those Illuminati and those people that sell their soul type and the satanic stuff, because I'm learning about the demonic ways of what people do to, sell their soul and then get the riches of life. So this question is really funny to me that this is happening, but to hear that people actually want riches so much so that they will put themselves in a very bad predicament, or not possibly not even intentional. Sometimes they could be put in situations where they're held against their will, or to say, I got this on you. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that riches can really rip people, but you want to get to the kingdom of heaven, but some people don't even know what the kingdom of heaven that is. The poor in spirit. That is what we are to do to help them to get to an understanding of what true heaven is. I'm done too.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, everybody got some good answers. Okay, I like that. All right. Now, this is gonna be deep too, Marcus and Ahmad. Now, if you don't hear me correctly, just let me know. Just nod your head and say, can you repeat that? Okay. So I'm gonna go with Marcus first. As a leader, what are some recommendations you can give a man to becoming a great leader?
Have a membership with your nearest happy hour.
But look, that's good, because listen, you gotta listen. When we talking serious, you gotta have a sense of humor. So that's what we want. Look, we don't want to be so serious that we can't laugh. See, that's what people get. You got to be so serious you can't laugh. Come on, this is what I love it.
I think for someone that is understanding what they're about to embark on, everyone thinks it's sexy to be a leader. Everyone thinks it's like the coolest thing to say, I'm an executive, right? But not everyone is built for that, right? It takes especially if you understand what your responsibilities are. Your responsibilities as a leader is to make sure the people that follow you watch them and help them become successful, point blank, period, right? And so, to answer your question, some of the things that I sit back and I think about is making sure you work on yourself, right? You spend time, just as amount of time that you put out there for other people, you got to have some like personal time for yourself. You got to pour into yourself. Whatever that looks like for you. For me, I'm all about watering plants. Go to the gym, right? I might pamper myself as far as, going to a spa or just going for a walk with my partner, right? Those things are so important. Those things are so vital, right? Because that helps you as a leader, personally speaking, right? Another thing that I would think about is just understanding that you can't take it serious. Better said than done, right? Better said than done, because the reality is people might see me and say, yo, Mark, you got it all figured out. That's so not true. I take losses every single day. Every single day I take losses, right? And you got to eat that, right? And you still got to show up, right? And you still got to be willing to put your foot forward every single day, whether it's for your family, whether it's for people that are in your group, in your circle, your shareholders, your partners, etc. you still got to show up and you still got to take losses, right? Because to your point about faith, you got faith, understanding that you still gonna get to your exit, right? I'm getting a little far away from the question, so I'm gonna land the plane. But I just feel as though from a leader's perspective, you can't take it seriously. Got to have some fun while you're doing it. Maintain the reasons for why you're doing it, and it can't always be about yourself.
Okay, Ahmad.
Yeah, I think me and Marcus will say the same thing, like in what I'm about to say, but I'm just gonna word it differently. I do believe that you do have to take it seriously. And reason being, I mean, not taking it serious, like, and I believe this is what Marcus was saying, like not taking it serious, like, you know, if you fail at your goal, you know, you're hard on yourself and, you know, just give up or, you know, won't be able to move forward, but not taking it serious in that matter, but obviously taking it serious, like continuing, working hard at it, you know, keeping your vision, stay motivated. I think it's very important for a leader to have another leader, somebody that can pour into them and give them some insight on things. It's good to have a big brother, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can be transparent with, share your failures with, you know, and they can pour into you. Being a leader for me, I mean, it is hard, but I can start with what Marcus said as well. You know, you want to take care of yourself first before you can take care of somebody else. And I just like to think of it like you can't like calm the storm in somebody else if the storm is chaotic in yourself. Like you can't even, you know, fix yourself and then you're trying to fix somebody else's problem, you know, and you can make poor judgments, you know. You think if you're in the rain, you're in some type of bad weather, you really can't see clearly, you know, so you're making poor judgments. So I think you need to be able to lead with clear headspace and a good support system.
Yeah.
Lady T.
Yes.
Yeah, as a leader, what would be some of your recommendations? You
Oh,
are
I
a
thought
leader. Don't act like you
I
ain't a
thought
leader.
that was only for the men. So, you know, I was just
Oh, so
enjoying.
now, so you not a leader?
No. I'm just saying I thought that was
Oh,
for
okay.
them. But, you know,
Okay.
everything they
You are a
said,
leader.
you know, I agree. You have to show and prove. That is what I always say, my motto, show and prove. You know, show yourself and then prove it. You know, be the example. But, you know, taking care of yourself is number one, knowing yourself, understanding who you are, being able to communicate, be there for somebody. Everything that they've said, you know, it's difficult to say, you know, everybody wants to be a leader. And, you know, I agree. I think it was Marcus, you said everybody wants to be in a leadership role. Everybody wants to be ahead. And I like being like in the back, honestly. I like being in the background. I like being behind the curtain because that's leadership still. You know, I feel like everybody needs to, you know it's not about being up front. It's about being in the middle and in the back. You know, it's about being a part of all of the circle because it's a circle. You're going around. You have a group of people, a community. You have some type of network that you are working as a leader, and all those parts of those other people are playing their leadership role as well to make that whatever happens in your life. So we all need each other. You know, it's about community. It's about working together, and it's how we deal with one another, how we communicate with one another. So, I mean, everything y'all said, I agree with.
Oh, okay. Y'all all on one accord, huh? Okay, y'all ain't gonna all ask the same thing this time. I got something for y'all. Y'all all talking about something. Yeah, I agree with Marcus. Nah, not this time, because everybody right now got a different journey. So, Marcus, we're gonna start with you again. How did you get the opportunity in this journey that you're in right now?
How did I get the opportunity? I mean, I've my opportunities have come simply by having an unwavering belief that I can make impact. I didn't know what it was to be like. If you asked me when I was 22 years old, I had no idea where I would be today. I just knew something inside, internally for me. I had some, right? Like I'm sorry, I don't know if you heard the last thing I said, but
No, say it again. I didn't hear
it. No, I just said, like, if you were to ask me at 22 years old, 23 years old, you know, where would I end up being? I would tell you I have no idea, right? I just knew that I wanted more. I wanted to do something. I wanted to put a dent in this planet of some sort, right? And so happily, I think when you think about being called, understanding faith, understanding all the components that we're talking about tonight, man, I got lucky.
Lucky?
I got a sense of, I would say luck, but I would also say it's part of my story, right? Like, as you were talking about earlier, when you were just sharing in the beginning of the call, you know, my backstory. You got to think about this. I was working in a substance abuse facility, right? Like, just give context, in Patterson, right? And all I was doing was just inpatient, dealing with folks coming in incarcerated, folks coming from, unfortunately, being addicts, right? Dealing with that, right? And I'm gonna put it all together. And every single day, I'm on the phone talking with someone that's telling me that they're doing 100 packs of heroin, right? Every single day, right? And then so happily, the manager or the owner of the facility had a meeting with me because he saw something that I did not see, right? He said to me in a meeting, imagine at a job, says to me, my man, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue this career? Because I'm cool with it, right? Because you obviously are doing good here. If you want to go this route, you got to go get a master's, right? And me being me, I've always been the type of person to be like, I'm gonna question things. I said, well, help me understand something. You want me to go get a master's? That's about $50,000, $60,000 that I'm going to add in debt. And you only going to give me what, a 3-4% increase? Doesn't make sense to me, right? He said, well, I'm glad you said that. He was like, the second thing is, have you ever considered getting into real estate? And at that time, I lie to you not, I'm like, no. Like, first off, the extent of what real estate for me was what I saw on TV, which was like $1 million listing, which was just selling real estate. And more importantly, nobody looked like me. So I'm like, it was a far-fetched concept, right? But I told him, he was like, well, if you want to get into real estate, I have some connections. I think you have some skills. I think you should do it. And you're 22 years old, just finished in school. I got a ton of bills, got a ton of responsibilities. My mother, I called her when I graduated. She said, I'm no longer the bank, and clicked on me, right? I appreciate her for that. I do. To this day, we joke about it. But for her, it meant the world for me, right? Because I had to figure it out. So I told him, I said, I'll take the latter. So I ended up leaving. He put me under his wing. And this is where faith comes in, right? This is where like crazy faith comes in. He ends up putting me in conversations. I did not know that he was a former mayor. I didn't know that he had a real estate portfolio. And because I ended up meeting with him, he then introduced me to somebody else. And then that got me involved in corporate real estate. And then I grew a career in corporate real estate. And then got connected with a developer, and the developer brought me onto his project and literally was like, here's the keys to my Ferrari. Don't crash it, meaning his land. Get it to the finish line. Didn't know what I was doing, right? But figured it out. And each part of the story has gotten me here, right? Each time that I have found that there has been crazy turbulence or something crazy that has taken place, it on the other side of that is a new chapter of something great for you. And that's where like this faith and reason. And I'm so glad that you asked me to be on this call tonight, because Those things are so real to me. You got to have crazy faith if you really want something big in life.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Ahmad, what about you, Ahmad? Talk
Man,
to us. Let us feel it. Come on now. You can't follow that. Let's go. Let's see what you got. What did you get? No, how did you get the opportunity in your journey? I know a little bit about you. I want to hear what you're gonna say now. Come on now, Ahmad. Bless us with some knowledge, man. Hit us over the head.
You're gonna be upset with my response though.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm gonna say just what Marcus said. I'm gonna say just what Marcus said. Like it's but this is the thing. I mean, I get what you're saying. We all have different stories, of journeys of what we're doing, but how we got there. I mean, you just feel like you have a God that's positioning you, and He's putting people in your life to give you those opportunities. So that's why I said it's like His, but yeah, I mean, part of my story, I wasn't no the heroin addict, calling you, with the 100. I was on the other end of that, but I had a rough start. I feel like I used to say, just in life, I felt like I started like backwards. It felt like I was always just doing things backwards, but I had a rough life, but been incarcerated, just, been in the streets, and I felt like I had a setback in life. I really didn't do the things I was supposed to do to prepare myself, for life. But once I got to a place of like surrendering, to God and just trying to follow Him, it's just like He just pulled me out of that hole, and then just made just opportunities after opportunities. And even the career that I'm in right now, civil engineering, it was basically like just handed to me. I wanted a better career. I was working for the state, and I had interest in like land surveying. Me and my friend, we just driving or whatever, we used to see these guys with tripods, like on the highway or in the street, and we just used to make jokes like, man, they ain't doing nothing. They out here taking pictures or whatever. Or they monitoring our speed or something. We didn't think nothing about it because we didn't have that exposure of what that was about. So, I had interest in that. I started getting interest in it, and somebody I knew from my past that knew me, he's a civil engineer, and he somehow heard. I don't even know how he heard that I wanted to try to be a land surveyor. And he said, I'm gonna give you opportunity. I'm gonna start you from scratch. Like, you don't know nothing, I'm gonna teach you everything. So it went from there, from him teaching me, everything, and letting me sit in on meetings and doing different deals, and just exposing me to that world that I didn't know about. And now, I'm on my way for civil engineering, just being able to sit in that seat. And then just my story, my life, like I'll give an example. Now this is man, years ago, I was incarcerated, and I was at the end of my time. And I was getting favor or opportunities even when I wasn't supposed to. So I was supposed to do, my time with no exposure to the outside world. And there was a lady that was there that took a liking to me. And she like, I'm gonna try to get this young man a chance and get him, involved with some programs. So they allowed me to go on the road crew. And we were washing these trucks, and I didn't know what it was. We was washing these trucks, these big orange trucks that I know that would take us out on the road. And I remember one of the guys that worked for this company. This is the state, though. This is the state. And he worked for the company, and he was just making it seem like, nobody that was on this road crew will be able to get a state job. You'll never be able to work, for the state. You'll just, be doing things like McDonald's or, those type of jobs. And that was like in my mind. And then, some time went on, I got out and got some jobs. And then I put in an application to work for the state, work at the DMV. And I'm like Marcus said, I'm just acting out on faith. I don't have no job history for this, nothing that they would even consider me. And I just put it in, and I'm just like, man, I'm just believing God. And end up getting the job. And then as I'm working at the job, it didn't dawn on me till later when I seen the very trucks that we were washing, and that the guy was just saying that we would never be able to, work for the state. I seen the trucks, and I'm just like, I'm doing exactly what the guy limit me and said, I wouldn't be able to do. And at that time, I was washing these trucks. Now I'm operating, these trucks, and I'm working around these things. So just God just my story is pretty long, so I'm not going to take, all the time, but just God just opening doors. That's why I say I side with Marcus and a lot of us. We all probably have that same type of story where it's just like doors were being opened and we was just put in the right place at the right time, or the person was introduced in our lives to make those things happen. So that's why I side with Marcus on that.
I just want, because Marcus is getting ready to leave. So can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right. So what I want to share with y'all, both of you guys, the reason why I ask you some of these questions is because it shows. Look, I ask you guys questions, and as you guys begin to tell me the story of you guys, look at faith and reason. Now, there is a purpose that Marcus, you had the journey that you had. Ahmad, there is a purpose that you had to go through your journey. And see, the outcome is because when God has something for you, no matter how the storm may look, and if you walking in that path that God has for you, everything that's supposed to be yours is yours. There's nothing, anything can change it. No man can change it, Marcus. What you endured, it was for you to endure. It was for you to walk through that. And Marcus and Ahmad, you guys in your next journey, you have the keys to open the next door for your life in your journey. Nobody else can take those keys and open that door. You have take your legs and walk through that door with the key that's already made for you. So in the journey that you're going through, no matter how tough it gets, guess what? You have the ability to walk through it and keep the faith alive. Keep focused, because God has something for you. Ahmad, God has something for you, Marcus. And I say this and I share this with you because I listen to you guys, and you both are leaders. Marcus, you a leader of a company, and guess what? Sarah is somebody that you're going to be able to do the same thing somebody did for you. You're going to be able to do the same thing. You're going to do the same thing because it's in your heart. It's in your character to do that. It's in your character to be the leader that you are called to be. And Ahmad is saying you are a father of many. And guess what? You and I see you, and I just want to say this to you guys. He does sometimes street ministry. You have to be bold to do that. You have to be strong to do that. And guess what? You have to be willing to do that. And I say that to you so you can be encouraged, because that's what leadership is. You have to have courage. You have to have boldness. And Marcus, you have that. And Ahmad, you have that. And so that's why we're talking about faith and reason. What caused you to turn the way you turn? There is something in your life that caused you to do that. Ahmad and Marcus, you know what I'm saying? You could have decided to not to do the things that you do. Riches, right? We talk about riches. Riches is our family. You know what I'm saying? Not money, not materialistic things. You know what I'm saying? How we encourage one another, how we spend time with one another. Those are the riches I'm talking about. And because we want to encourage our families and show them that, guess what? In the midst of the storm, we still can make it. In the midst of the storm, we still can be strong and stand up. and fight through all of the struggles. And I'm so pleased to hear that, Ahmad, you shared your story with us, because that is something that someone else can be encouraged by, as well as Marcus. You know, I wanted to say all that because Marcus is getting ready to leave, but I wanted to share that with him, and I'm so blessed. Ahmad, don't leave. But I wanted to share that with you because guess what? It's a blessing to have you in here and allow other people to hear your story, but not only your story, your leadership, how you started at one place and you had to make a decision. You made a decision that was going to change other people's lives, that was going not only change other people's lives, your life, but you took it, like you said, you stepped out on faith. And guess what? If you, even if you didn't have a faith understanding of who God was, but you still took it. You took a faith, a leap of faith out on deciding to do something that you know nothing about. And see, but God knew that you had that in you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I stayed in contact with you, because I knew that you was the perfect candidate, but not only perfect candidate, but I knew that the character that you were, that you had, you know, your integrity and all the conversations that we had, I knew that you had a great heart, and you're going to still do great things. And I want you to continuously be encouraged. And listen, you're going to be successful your whole life. Stay on the path, stay focused, and listen, keep being blessed, man.
I appreciate that. And if I could just say one last thing before for your listeners, you know, as I get off this call, and I'm so appreciative again for you guys inviting me onto your platform, because I don't typically do too much talking in spaces like this, because not everyone is going to listen, right? They just listen just to listen, but really don't use the tangibles that you share. But I believe that the folks that listen to your podcast genuinely will do some things, right? And one of the things I do believe in is that faith and fear both demand you to believe in something that does not exist. You just have to choose one, right? And I remember years ago, prior to my grandmother passing away, I was wilding, reckless. And she just was like, listen, what you going to do when things start getting crazy, when there's some turbulence in your life? You not planted, you don't have an anchor. You say you do, but it's going to get crazy. And when you don't have your faith and your spirituality filled, you're gonna tank. She said, promise me that, you know, when I leave here, that you know, submit yourself and anchor yourself in your faith. And I'm so thankful that she had that conversation with me, because she's absolutely right. Life happened, and I was tested, and I'm still tested every single day. And I think the tests that you get are a testament to how strong you are ready for the next part of your life, of what's going to be given to you. I mean, ultimately, to me, the Bible has some of the best stories that you can use for your everyday life. I mean, and I'm going to get out of here because I got to leave. But one of the things I always think about is the story of Job. And just to put in the context, I think I tell people all the time, I think it's the Bible stories like regular everyday situations. So to me, Job is like, think about this. Think about being at a bar or whatever social setting that you can think of. Imagine two people sitting at that table, God and the devil, right? And they politicking, right? Because whether they're oppositions or not, they know each other, right? One used to work for the other, right? So he still work for him. But think about, they're at the bar, they politicking, right? And the devil's like, listen, I bet you, let's make a bet. Let's make a bet that I guarantee I can make one of your folks not even believe in you, right? Yeah, like, you know, real chill. You got it. Who you want? You're like, I want him. He said, you got it. Just don't kill him, right? Do whatever you want with him. Just don't kill him. He said, listen, you got some time, shake on it. They took a nice little bet, right? And the devil tried to do all kinds of things to Job, right? Think about your everyday life, right? You might have lost your job. Don't you give up on your faith. Someone might have passed away in your life. Don't give up on your faith. The opportunity that you think of that unfortunately you might have went bankrupt. Don't you give up on your faith, because Job went through these things, right? He lost his wife, he lost his children, he lost his job. And my man said, yo, God, whatever you got for me, I believe that it's in your will, right? Sure enough, a couple weeks later, the devil goes back to the bar, head down, right? Walking in, God just sitting there at the bar. It's like, what's happening, right? He's like, oh, man, I ain't win. He's like, I told you. Yo, give me my bet, right? Shook, got him a drink, he left. And what happened? He blessed Job in ways that he couldn't even imagine. So for your listeners, keep your faith. No matter whatever you're going through, keep your faith. I promise you. I don't know how long whatever you're enduring, how long it's going to take. There's always something on the other side of that. So I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be on your platform tonight. And if I can ever give any help, feel free to shoot me an email, mthomas@cahbm.com.
All right, man.
Nice to
have you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, we're going to get back to Ahmad. Ahmad.
Oh, wow.
No, man. Listen, man. Look, now we can get, more acquainted because, Marcus came in and we just want to, chop it up with you something, man. We really chop it up with you. I'm proud of you, though. I'm really proud of you, man. I want to say that to you, Lady T, let me give you a little backstory on Ahmad. Now, Ahmad, my first time meeting Ahmad was at the family reunion.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, I was like, okay. I was like, what's Ray's husband at? It's like, so I met him, right? I was like, oh, that's him. Okay. Look, now Lady T, you know how I be, right? So I seen him in the cut. I was like, and look, this is an honest, true story. Like, I'm real transparent. I seen him in the cut. I said, Lady T, watch this. You about to laugh. Get your cheekbones ready, right? I said, yo, he's so quiet. He's so like, oh, nah, we can't have that. So just, I had the right time, the right setting. So they was all sitting in the garage, right? And I was like, okay. So they was having a conversation. And I jumped in the conversation. I sat down for a little bit. Then me and him start talking. I was like, we did a little conversing. I had to leave. Wife was sitting in the car, but our spirits connected right away. Boom. I was like, ooh. Sure. Only thing I could think about, I said, oh, I like what I hear. I like the conversation. I was like, oh man, right? So then he was like, he sent me a little message. I sent the back one, right? Then he hit me with the street ministry. I was like, I was like this. Oh yes, I love it because listen, truly, that is, you got to have, you got to be bold to do that. So, and I say that to really say that you're a great guy. You know what I'm saying? A stand-up guy, but also you're a great father. You know what I'm saying? I would commend you on being a great husband because, like I said, when I seen you, you was like sitting in the cut, real calm. They ain't wild like me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like I said, I'm honored to have you here. But on top of that, look, listen, don't be afraid to tell your story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not about, it's like, it's encouraging to others. It's encouraging to, let people know. And some people like, I don't want to tell my story. No, it's encouraging. You know what I'm saying? And you are going to be a great king. I always say king. Okay. You're a leader. You got children. You know what I'm saying? They look up to you. I see you in church. You know what I'm saying? And that's the key. Stay, like Marcus was saying earlier, you have to stay rooted yourself as the individual. You have to, because you are the root. So the root is you, and you have to be strong. You got some, roots that's not strong. You can pull them up, but you have to be rooted in the word and stay focused on your task. Your task is like being that great leader because you have children that looks up to you. You have a wife, you know what I'm saying? And that's key. And I'm so glad that you're here, because I definitely want you to understand that you have a calling on your life, not just for your family, but just for the word of God. You know what I'm saying? Some people need to be fed, and sometimes it can be tough. It's a tough task. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's never easy to be a leader. It's never easy to be a father. It's tough. We go through that journey as a father and as a mother, because Lady T is a mother. It's a tough journey. And then we have young adults, and we have to deal with them and their emotions and everything. So it's not easy to be, you know what I'm saying, a leader. When I say to you, I'm saying as a father and her as a mother, it's tough. And we like I like what Marcus said earlier, is that we have to be strong, not only for ourselves, for them too. And because we are the ones they look up to and look for guidance, look for wisdom. So we have to be strong in that, right?
So
So, that's I just want to, say that to you, man. Because Lady T really didn't have too much to say, but I want Lady T to say something.
Say what? What would you like me to say?
Lady
There's
T.
nothing else. I mean, I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm listening and getting to know people I've never met before. So it's very good to, listen and hear about Ahmad and his family, your background, a street ministry. I can imagine what it looks like. Yeah, I could imagine what it looks like, but how long have you been doing that?
Just a few years.
Okay.
Just a few years. It's like it's a burden almost. So if I don't do it, I don't feel peace.
Yeah.
It's me personally, like Terrell said, like I'm quiet. I don't really have to say anything. I don't want to say anything, but that is a pull on me, to just be out in the streets, try to reach out to those that coming from what I did and what I was into. And I've seen the Lord's hand work in that. I've seen some things out there, and that's a warfare in itself. And what I've learned, even in that makes me, as Terrell was saying, like being home in my house, it makes me take it more seriously, because when you go out there and you're disrupting those spirits out there, they tend to want to come and try to disrupt what you got going on. So that has caused me to be more in tune and pay attention to my family, what's going on. So yeah, that's a whole nother world.
Yeah, I bet. But it's a calling, like you say, it's pulling on you to go and speak and help. It's like saving somebody, and helping them see another way, a light that they can, go into to help themselves. So that's good that you're, following that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep. What you got, Terrell? I see it stirring up there. What you about to say?
Say that again.
I said I guess you was frozen. I said I thought you was looking like you was thinking of something, but I guess your camera was frozen.
Yeah.
He's delayed. Man. I
Uh-oh.
think he's delayed.
No, I was frozen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the link. Yeah, can y'all hear me now? I was delayed. It was a little delayed. But no, it's Lady T. Did you see what Mr. Black said?
No.
I put it up there on the screen. Did you see it?
No, I didn't read it.
Look.
He knows me. He knows me. Yeah.
So Ahmad, I got a question for you though.
Yes, sir.
What gave you the strength to achieve your goal?
What gave me the strength?
Yes. Gave you the strength to achieve your goals?
Yeah, just just thinking about my past, I just want to change my name, change the memory of the things that I messed up. You know, that's my strength. Obviously, my family. I said that earlier, but just thinking about that does keep me going. Like my grandmother, uh, she had she ended up like having a couple strokes, and she had like what is it called, dementia or whatever, and so she couldn't remember things and all that. She would go in and out. But when I was doing what I was doing, my mother told me she went to visit her, and she just asked about me. And that was unusual at that time because she didn't know who people were and all that. And she asked about me. She called my name out like, what's going on with Ahmad? And my mother told her, I was incarcerated. And she said, again, that boy, I don't know if he ever get it right, So things like that, play in my mind. My father passed away when I was incarcerated. I was 19. My father passed away, and we didn't have like the greatest relationship before I went in, but like while I was in there, we was building up our relationship, and we like had plans for like when I came home, things we was going to do and all this. And he ended up passing away before I got out. So just things like that, different memories of when, I was doing wrong. I just trying to, make that up, change that image. And so my family, they when they see me or they talk to me, they be like, man, I'm glad about what you're doing, and keep going, and your father would be proud, and I'm proud of you, stuff like that. That's what that's my motivation. That's why I'm trying to reach these. Yeah.
I truly commend you on that. And why I say that is because truly I seen greatness in you when I first met you. And I'm not saying this to sugarcoat it. I'm not saying this just to be saying it. I'm being serious. When I first met you, my spirit is like connected with you, and I'm like, wow, this is somebody that God really want to use, and God wants to use you. I see the strength in you. I see the resilience in you. Not only that, it's just that when I first start talking to you, I wanted to be encouraging to you. I was like, man, this guy, man, he's just because see, I'm not that one that just sit down and be like, I'm gonna get up, like, yo, what's up? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because I have like I too was like bad. Like they say, oh, you was bad, you was just always into. No, I was bad, bro. I got into a lot of stuff. And so I can understand that and relate to that. I never, like I said, our journeys were different. But I say to you is that I want you to constantly be encouraged, because living in this time is tough. To be a black man, it's tough to have children in this time and have to deal with the things that's going on in the world, and how we have to raise them up to be, able to navigate in this world and not be conformed to the world. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I want you to listen. Your past is what made you strong. Your past is what made you who you are today. So don't look at that as, oh, this is a failure. No, it made you stronger. Because guess what? At the end of the day, once you walk through those doors, you are a stronger person. You were able to endure the storm. You were able to endure what you thought that you wasn't going to get out. You know what I'm saying? And there were people praying for you. There were people that were interceding for yourself. So now here you are, and guess what? Like you said, like the people said, that your father would be happy happy to know the things that you have done and how you endure the storm. And I say, you are going to be great. I speak life into you because that's what we have. We have the authority to say those things. We have to speak like we have authority, and we have to speak life over each other. And I say that to be encouraging too, because I want you to be, this shining night for your family, but not only for the family, but for the word of God. I definitely want you to be inspired by this opportunity that we are sharing with you, you know what I'm saying, Lady T and myself, is because, we don't do this often. Like, people don't encourage one another like they supposed to, you know what I'm saying, and stay in contact with one another, stay, connected. Sometimes we lose connection by our everyday life, and that's not fair, but it is what it is. It happens. But and I want to continuously communicate with you, talk with you, me and my lady T, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do great things together, you know what I'm saying? And I like to travel, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to go to Houston. Now I was supposed to go to these football games. I want to say this to you. I was getting ready to go to these football games, but as a husband, I gotta say it, I didn't do what I was supposed to. I'm getting ready to think about self. I didn't think about my wife. I didn't think about my kids. You know what I'm saying? They grown, but I was like, yo, I'm going to these football games, telling everybody, yeah, I'm getting ready to go. Now, God said, oh, yeah? Okay. I got news for you. That's not your will. You're not going to do that. Now, I was like, Lady T was laughing at me. I said, yeah. I was sad, but I say all that to say is that's what I want, to encourage you with, is just let God lead you, you know what I'm saying, in your journey.
Sure.
Saturate your mind with the word of God. Saturate your mind with people that are going to be the same as you, same driven, same drive, same zeal. You know what I'm saying? Like-minded people. Surround yourself continuously with those type of people, and I guarantee you're going to see nothing but greatness. You understand me? Nothing.
I want to just give a shout out, and acknowledge my wife, because I when you asked me to be on here, that's one of the first things I said to you, like, can Saray be on with me? That's
your road dog. You said it.
Huh?
You said that's your road dog. That's how it's supposed to be. That's your road dog.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate it so much. Like, she definitely is motivation for me. All that you speak, and she done already spoken to me, and she was saying some things to me today too. So I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for her. I tell her from time to time, like, I feel like I don't deserve, or I don't deserve her. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she deserved better. Not that I'm doing anything crazy in my marriage, but just me, just my history. And Saray, I just feel like she's like an angel, man.
Nah, but look, you gotta remember, Ahmad, you gotta remember, that's the old you.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah,
I just want to say that, man. I want to acknowledge her.
No doubt. Listen, hey, I'm glad that you're able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't acknowledge their lovely wives, you know what I'm saying? And that's commendable, you know what I mean? And you and I know you told me, you said it to me, you was like, yo, that's my road dog. I was like, I love that.
With me. So if y'all find another space for me, man, I gotta make sure she on here with me.
Of course, man. Anytime. Listen, your availability, you always welcome to come and be a part of this with her. You know what I'm saying? We would love that. We love that. You know what I'm saying? We love it. It's just great to have you here. And like I said, it's truly something to encourage people with. Not only encourage them, just to inspire them to change their heart. Because sometimes we could get into this space of being selfish, and they think it's not selfish, but it's selfish. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how you can become a better individual, a better person. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we talk about faith versus reason. Some people, look at faith and says, why? Why faith? Why believe in something that I can't see? But guess what? We all have feelings, right? How do we feel about an individual and still show love to that person we can't stand? Where do you get that from? You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. Those are the difficult things. And you can't just do it on your own. You have to have some type of faith, some type of understanding, spirituality, to understand that you have to deal with some people that you can't stand. You have to still show them love, still show them peace, still show them happiness. Show them, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that might be the spark that changes their heart, changes their mind, you know, and changes the way they think and see how they see life. That's false. Somebody put a comment in there. That's false. Ooh, look.
Who is that? Who is
that? That's Dion.
Oh. That's all right. I'll let him say that. That's all right.
Yeah. Nah, man. Listen. It's all about growing. And listen, you going to grow into the man that you are called to be. And that's not, like I said, I'm not one to be phony and fake. I'm being honest and transparent. That's who I am. And you can love me or you can leave me. That's it. Lady T always said that. Yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm not perfect. I'm imperfect. So guess what? If I make a mistake, if I say something wrong, I'm willing to come back and say, you know what? I was wrong. My bad. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. I don't want to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I truly, want to be a person that's going to be encouraging to others. And I definitely want to show love, peace, happiness. Some people always say some people don't know how to receive my love because I can be over zealous about showing love. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's me. I want you to show love. I want to give you love. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just be happy. That's the environment I want to have. Happiness. It's not always available sometimes, but that's the part of me. I just want to spew all out of me. That's the Christ in me. You know what I'm saying? Look, somebody said something. Listen, he said, we have all open wrong doors, but need to make it right. And if that is happening, then you are in the right path. Let me let y'all look at this. What you think about that, Ahmad? Can you see that?
Yes. I agree. I'm on the right path. Yep, I agree.
Ahmad,
Lady T, you've been quiet.
I like how you said, Ahmad, that you had to change your name when you went through all the changes and you wanted to be different. Because immediately what I was thinking of is like you were in your flesh and you had to resurrect to become a new man. Like that's how I saw you when you were explaining that, and I was like, oh, that was profound. You were saying it at the time, but what I heard was like you let the flesh part of you that was in the wrong, what we do are wrong being, how we do wrong decisions in life, and we have to pay a price for it. And then you come out of it and you're like, you learned and you become a new man. And that's like the Spirit of God coming into your life, that Holy Spirit of water cleansing you. It's like the baptism type thing, and you came out a different man, and now you're out there, trying to baptize other people, on the street. That's the love that you have. And I thought that was beautiful when you were telling your story. You had to change your name. And I was like, yeah, I get that totally.
Yep.
So stay strong. Don't listen. Hey, look, Lady T not like this now. And don't get Lady T, don't be getting mad now.
What?
Hey, Ahmad, Lady T be getting on my case all the time. Now listen, my phone don't never go off. So man, you need to talk anytime.
Oh yeah.
Let me know. All right, I'm available because Lady T said you got to get some rest. My wife say the same thing. You got to go to sleep. People call my phone Even though I work early in the morning, 5 in the morning, they call me. I said, man, I'm asleep. I'll pick up and tell you I'm asleep. Yeah, I'm like that. Everybody ain't like that. I was like, because you know what? It's that's the type of person I am. Because I always tell her, I always say that is because you know what? When I really need somebody, I want the same thing. And when I'm really down and out, I always have somebody that I could call. You know, if I spew that out, it's a comeback to me. That's how everybody not like that. Everybody don't think like that. I do because when I need someone, I look at my phone, I call them. They gonna be like, oh hey, I got you. It might not be that individual, but someone will be available for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always available. You know, even when I'm asleep, I'll be like, oh my goodness, don't you know I gotta work in the morning? I'll tell you. Now I'm going to tell you what you want. I got to go to work in the morning. What do you need? Talk to me fast because I'm still asleep.
Wow.
They'll be like, why did I call?
Word. Hey, Ahmad, that's how I am. I say you could call me, but if you call me when I'm in my sleep and I got to go to work in the morning, I'm definitely going to tell you. I say, listen, hey, what you need? Hurry up because I got to go back to sleep. What you need? I'll make if I gotta get picked up, I'll tell somebody, tell her, hey, wife, baby, send her in my Uber, send her an Uber.
Wow. I think that you still pick up though to at least say
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It happens all the time, so I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's the type of person I am. I've become. I wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always a giving person. Open person. I was sometimes I'll take accountability of it. I was selfish. I really was. I was selfish. I was thinking about myself. I didn't think about others. But now, you see what I just said. I just got to think about everybody, right, Lady T?
That's right.
Lady T be like, hey, this my time. Don't call my phone. Boop.
Good.
No, I don't do that.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I don't turn my ringer off. That's what I do. I turn it off.
But listen, Ahmad, you always welcome. We're gonna get out of here. We on tomorrow, but if you would love to come on tomorrow, you're welcome to come.
Wow.
So yeah, we on tomorrow.
Swear.
Yeah.
Which every day of the week?
No. We only do it Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 6:30. Yeah. That's it. Cause Lady T has a life. I have a life. Shoot, my wife is like, hey, you gotta get up out of here. You got to spend time with me. Tell me something. You got podcasts on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, okay.
Jeez.
I'll be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
But listen, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All you gotta do is text. Let me know if you want to. You always welcome. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Want you to be blessed, encouraged. We out of here. Peace. Talk to y'all later. All right, lady.
Bye-bye.